Alright, so we're going to go ahead and go through these. So hopefully, since it's on the inside there, you can see that I think about how do I get 0 inside there, and I say, oh, inside the parentheses I get a 0 there when x is 1, and 1 is to the right of 0, so I'm going to say, how am I going to transform this? I'm going to say right 1, and then you got the 3 on the outside, which moves it up 3. And then don't forget the negative on the outside. It's going to reflect it over the x-axis. And make sure you say over the x-axis, because there could also be other places. Over the y-axis, you can reflect it over another line. So you got to be specific about that. So I'm going to move, I'm thinking about 0, 0 in my head, and I'm going to move it over 1, and then I'm going to go up 3. So 1, 2, 3. I know my graph is going to be upside down. There's no number on the outside there, so I'm going to keep having that, bearing that in mind. 1, 1, so I'm going to go over 1, down 1, over 2, down 4. And then same thing on this side. I'm going to go over 1, down 1, and then over 2, down 4. And then I'm going to go ahead and connect those points. And there's, I've got my graph using transformations. Number 9 there, what you want to do for that one, you want to think, oh, inside there, how do I get 0? I get 0 inside the parentheses when x is negative 1, which is left 1. And then the minus 5 there is going to be down 5. And then we've got our vertical stretch by 2, is what that 2 on the outside does. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and move left 1 and then down 5. And then this one's going to be opening upward, but instead of being 1 over and 1 up, I'm going to multiply vertically by 2, so 1 over and 2 up. Instead of being 2 over and 4 up, I'm going to go 2 over and 8 up, because I multiply vertically by 4. So 1, 2, 3, and then I'm going to do the same thing in the other direction. Instead of being negative 1, 1, it's going to be negative 1, 2. Instead of being negative 2, 4, it's going to be negative 2, 8. Oops, must have been off here. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead now and connect my points there. And there's my graph. Alright, so let's go back to that standard form and vertex form stuff. So standard form is x squared plus bx plus c, and then you found the vertex, your x value is opposite of b all over 2a, and then you took that value, you plugged it back into the equation, and you got the y value. Vertex form is a times x minus h squared plus k, where h and k is the vertex. So it says find the vertex for this one here, y equals x squared plus 6x plus 10. So let's go ahead and let's find the vertex. You know how to do that. We've done that many times before. So let's use our opposite of b over 2a, where our a value here is 1, our b value here is 6, and our c value here is 10. So opposite of b there would be negative 6 all over 2 times 1, which gives me a value of negative 3. So my vertex ends up being negative 3 something. To find my value there, I'm going to take negative 3 squared plus 6 times negative 3, and then plus 10. So that really gives me 9 minus 18 plus 10, which ends up giving me there a value of 1. So there's my vertex. We found our vertex. That was our goal. We accomplished that. The next one here, same thing. Let's find our vertex. Opposite of B over 2A. Our A value here is 1. Our B is 7. And my C value here is negative 2. So I'm going to find my vertex here because I'm supposed to write this in vertex form. So opposite of B there would be negative 7 all over 2 times 1, which gives me a negative 7 halves. So I've got my negative 7 halves. I'm going to plug it into my equation for my x. And then minus 2. So to get my y for this one, I'm going to go here on my calculator and have it do it for me this time. So to do so here, I'm going to do parentheses, negative 7 divided by 2. I'm going to hit the squared button, and then plus 7 parentheses times negative 7 divided by 2, and then minus 2. It's going to tell me it's negative 14.25. I'm going to have it put in a fraction button form for me, so I'm going to hit the math frac button, and it's going to tell me it's negative 57/4. So I've got my nice ordered pair there of negative 7 halves and negative 57/4. But my goal here is to go ahead and put that in vertex form. This is currently not here in vertex form. So I'm going to keep working with this and put this in vertex form. Putting this here in vertex form now, my vertex form is y equals a times x minus h squared plus k. My a value up here in the original up here is the same a value as down here. So we already know what our a value is. We know what our hk is. We found that. So let's plug our h and our k values into our function now. So doing that, I end up getting x minus negative 7 halves. So I get x plus 7 halves. Minus a minus becomes a plus. And then on the outside here, minus 57/4 because it says plus k. Alright, so there it is in vertex form.